Billionaire Extraordinaire by Seb Lowe, who we are very fortunate to have joining us now, live on Shock Radio. How are you doing, Seb?
I'm good, how are you?
Oh, it's over the moon to have you on with us at breakfast. We have so many questions, we're so excited to have you here, but the first thing we want to do is not congratulate you on your illustrious career and how well it's going, but congratulate you on passing your driving test.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming with that one.
Yeah, we saw it on your Instagram and we just thought we have to open up the interview by congratulating.
Yeah.
Only 2 minors as well, right?
Yeah, one minor actually.
Oh, one minor. I'm selling you short.
You've not stalked very well, Matt.
Makes up for the fact I failed the first time, I think. But however, now I can't write songs about the fact that I can't drive anymore. I used to do quite a lot.
You can't use that one anymore. Right, so we're going to go back onto your music career, but first of all, when I was researching you, I found this comment on one of your YouTube videos, which I think perfectly sums you up, and you'll probably agree with this. They described your music as take a spoonful of hate, mix it with some politics, maybe a pinch of love, add a Mawson riff, and then you get the constant result of a banger. I think that sums you up perfectly, don't you think, Seb?
Well, I mean, I think it's a very nice comment. That, yeah. Minus the hate part, you know. I don't think I'm that hateful.
I think if you're listening to our show and you sort of agree with our politics, then you'll agree with Seb's politics, and very aligned with our left-wing views.
Yes.
Yeah.
But back to where it all started then. So you didn't really start writing or learning music until you're about 13, 14 is when you picked up a guitar. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So how did that love sort of grow, and how did you sort of manage to make your way into that industry, coming in at what traditionally, I suppose, in music terms, is sort of a late stage?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, it took me a while to really... Obviously, I learned guitar. I was very bad at guitar. So it took me a while to then kind of have the confidence to write any songs. And I wrote a few poems here and there. But I think it wasn't till sort of COVID time, because like you just were spending so much time at home doing nothing much. I had so much time to write music, and then that got, you know, progressively to the point where sort of family and friends were saying, you need to get on socials, you need to post these on TikTok and stuff like that. And then all very quickly towards the end of COVID, the TikTok started doing increasingly well, I guess. Yeah, people seem to like it.
Yeah, I've got to say, that was where I sort of first came across you a few years ago. How do you think that exposure online sort of built the career path?
I mean, it was funny. It actually took a while, really, for it to sort of mean anything, the TikTok side of things. Because it took me a while to actually, you know, find a producer to then record music, even do any live gigs. Because it all happened in COVID, I'd never really done a live gig on my own. So I found, I have this following on TikTok, but I've never really played live. I haven't really built up any experience as a musician. I'm still not that good at playing guitar or anything like that. And then gradually started playing live more, picked up a band, and that was huge. You know, got sort of a manager and all that side of it to like kind of zero in and sort things out, and get gigs, and now we're kind of like settled into like a routine, and it sort of just works, I guess.
Especially here in Manchester as well, your growth with live venues has been so quick. We were just chatting with you before we went on air. Issy saw you in what, like a...
Yeah, it was like a, I don't know how to describe Basque. It's like a bar, sort of...
Yeah, it's still bar. It's,
and then, like I said, a year to the day later, we were seeing you at New Century, which is, how many did you say?
A room of 1,200 people, which you sold out.
And that growth in as little time as a year is massive, isn't it?
I know, it was crazy. I'd probably put a lot of that to the band, who are just, you know, absolutely massive. And, you know, we gig as much as we possibly can, kind of get out there. And it's crazy to see what that causes. Yeah.
And we chat about live music a lot on this show, and we think it is the most incredible experience, no matter who you see live, just to celebrate that moment with people. And I think that's might be part of the reason that you guys play live so much, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think we just all have a lot of fun, and it's also really cool to see, because obviously when it's all online, you don't really get a grasp for how people feel, and you don't really get to meet people. And there's something really nice about meeting someone who has that connection with something that you've written. You know, being in like a pretty mainstream crowd of like 1,000 odd people, all shouting "you dirty," I won't say it, communist, and then that there's just something so kind of special and like energizing about that. I don't know. Yeah,
I think one of the things I noticed as well is at both gigs that I've seen you at is the mixed demographic that sort of your music appeals to. Because obviously the first time I went with both my mum and dad, and then the second time obviously we went, and there was such a mixture of younger people but also older people whose politics and views align with your own and your music writing. And I think you don't get that many artists that sort of can capture such a wide appeal of people. And I think that's really interesting to see. Did you have sort of a target audience in mind with when you're writing?
No, I mean, I think like anyone else, you start off writing, and the trick is to keep doing this and not kind of get kind of obsessed with this idea of what you think people will like. You know, you should try your best to kind of continue to write what you would want to hear, I guess, what you enjoy writing. And the thing is, I've always listened to what my dad's played me, which is a lot of older stuff, and then obviously the stuff I found myself just through, you know, life, which is a lot of more modern stuff. I really like, I don't know, Noah Kahn, Olivia Rodrigo, funnily enough, in the kind of modern sphere of artists. I quite like them. And then, so yeah, that probably just inevitably appeals to multiple people. And also, like, you get a lot of young people who bring their parents, and then the parents like, oh yeah, this is actually not that bad. Sometimes they quite like it. So yeah.
Well, we think you're great, and we're going to continue the chat in just a bit. But first, we were thinking, what tracks can we play while Seb's on? And I was doing my little Googling, and after your New Century Hall gig, you put out this like little vlog concert video, and in your words, goated dressing room chat is ABBA.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It just puts you in a good...
It does put you in a good mood. Has it always been your dressing room chat since you started with this band touring?
No, well, actually, it was a recent addition on the tour, because we were like, we really need to kind of get a buzz before these gigs, and it just seemed to work. So, yeah.
Let's get into it then. Dancing Queen. We'll continue our chat with Seb Lowe next on Shock Radio. Dancing Queen by ABBA. Good dressing room chat, Issy.
I feel like it's a good song for everything. Every mood.
That's perked me up.
Picks you up if you're down.
Yeah,
keeps you up if you're up.
Who have we got on the line still? Well, it is Seb Lowe. He's joining us live from what I presume is your home, Seb.
It is, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
He's live from his home, ahead of embarking on a tour tomorrow as well. So we're very thankful that he's taken out the time, because you are opening up. And when we look back at the people that you've opened up for and the gigs that you've played, some of the names, right, are incredible. You're about to open up on a tour for the Charlatans.
Yes, yeah, I know.
That is...
How does it feel to sort of be at that stage in your career so young?
I can't even quite describe it, really. It's one of those things that you kind of look back on every now and again, and you try to wrap your head around, and you can't quite. You just in it, involved in it. It doesn't feel like much until you really think about it. That was like yesterday. You had the Spotify Wrapped stuff happening. That was like one of those days where, like, I think we was at the studio with the whole band, and we all like took a step back and were just like, oh my. Yeah.
Let's run off the dates that you're playing for the Charlatans then. So throughout December, you head off to Cardiff tomorrow, then here in Manchester, then Leeds, Liverpool, London, Wolverhampton and Nottingham are your gigs there. Massive tour. Have you got any tour traditions that you do with your band, or when you head to a city, what's the first thing you do?
Most of the time we eat something. In terms of traditions, I mean, obviously you've done the ABBA. I mean, that's like a that's the recent addition. This is a really good question. I know there will be plenty of things that we do. Really racking my brain now.
Well, perhaps let you think on it. If anything jumps to your mind, just butt in. But great food. That's what I do when I go to a new city. I find somewhere nice to eat.
Yeah, you are a bit of a foodie, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I do. I tried out. You know the Christmas markets in Manchester. I tried out the Porky Pig, famous like Yorkshire pudding map yesterday. Good, very good. I recommend.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had it, honestly, which is actually shocking.
Get down, but I wouldn't go on a weekend. I've heard it's like madly busy there. But yeah, other than the Charlatans, next year you're embarking on your headline tour in April, which is just sort of dropped out of the blue. Last month, you were just like, announcing something pretty big in an hour, guys, and then boom, headline tour. Yeah. Tell us about that. Are you excited?
Yeah, I don't like to do the whole, next week I'm going to announce something. I don't like to build something up too much. It's partly because I'm just quite bad with keeping on top of social media. So so that's in April. It's selling really fast, so anyone listening, if you fancy a ticket, I recommend getting it. We're going all over the place. Glasgow, Leeds, Newcastle, Manchester, Nottingham, Birmingham, London, Bristol, I think.
That was very well recited.
Yeah,
maybe not quite in that order, but
at some point next year you'll be in those cities.
Yes, in April.
Yeah. In April.
Yeah.
Can't give any dates off the top of my head, but I'm Nottingham and Bristol that we've never done headlines at before, which is really exciting. Bristol's on a boat. The venue's a boat.
Wow.
There's something, and it's just a boat.
That's. I want to go to Bristol
should
now.
We sack off Manchester?
Yeah, we're not going to go to your Manchester date now. We're going to travel with you down to Bristol just to go to this boat.
Yeah.
Massively exciting tour. And then we were just talking about it. Withamshire Park next summer, opening up for the Blossoms in what is an insane gig. I think we both agree.
Yeah, that's biggest thing we'll have done yet. It's crazy. It's like this sort of amalgamation of indie acts in the industry right now. It's going to be absolutely mega. It's that thing of where you start, you not only do you know the headlines, but you also know all the supports that are playing this gig, which is always a bit mind-boggling. But yeah, should be fun. And Inhaler as well, we've supported a few times, and even the Cades we've supported on their tour. So it'll be fun to kind of see all of them.
You'll be able to catch up again, share what you've been up to.
Yeah. There you
go. So, as well, one thing I want to ask you is, music-wise, what's coming next for Seb Lowe?
Hopefully an album, I think. That's got to be the kind of next step. I mean, we're just sort of thinking about the process of writing that, because we have, so many songs. I mean, even on TikTok, there's so many songs that I don't go on to then make into full songs that I think, well, maybe I should, build these up or just write something totally from scratch. And I think we're kind of in the process of figuring all of that out. So yeah, I think that's got to be next.
Well, we'll definitely be buying the album, won't we?
Yeah, I'll be buying the album, and we'll be sneaking every song into the Shock library so people just play it all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe we just do a show specifically dedicated to it.
The Seb Lowe Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Gotta happen.
So thank you so much for coming onto the show, Seb, and thanks so much for sharing some secrets. If you do come up with any traditions, let us know. We'll share them on our Instagram.
We have a bee.
You've got a bee?
We have a bee, Teddy.
Has it got a name?
Beyonce, and it just it lives in the van, and we got it at a service station one time.
I think that's a good one.
That's a good one. Have you Beyonce? We need a mascot now. You've inspired us. I think we should get.
It's the ugliest thing in the world.
It's
the creepiest looking teddy, and it's massive. And it just lives in the van.
It's just an extra band member.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We'll have to bring it on stage.
Please do. Definitely at Manchester. Go. This is Beyonce.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we're bringing out a special guest.
Yeah. Yeah. If that's not integrated into the set next year,
we're going to be disappointed.
Just
we'll be knocking on stage door going, Seb, what's up? You told us you'd be bringing out Beyonce. Right. Anyway, thank you so much, Seb, for your time. We're going to finish off by playing what is my favourite Seb Lowe song.
And Seb Lowe's favourite Seb Lowe song.
Yeah, Seb Lowe's favourite Seb Lowe song. Yeah. Do you want to introduce it for us, Seb?
Yeah, I believe it's I Fell in Love with a Talking Head.
That's shocking. Oh, perfect. You can steal our job for us as well. Thanks so much, Seb.
Thank you.